is an India Today global special broadcast on the historic visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Ukraine. The first an Indian Prime Minister has ventured into traveling to Ukraine, and also comes at a time when Russia and Ukraine are at war. What's the message? What's on the agenda? I'm being joined by Gaurav Sawant, who's on the ground. Prime Minister Modi just reached his hotel, was welcomed by the Indian community there. And for a country that is at war with Ukraine, look at the community presence, the Indian community presence in Ukraine. Gaurav, over to you. Lots of Indians we see on the ground with you. First, take us through the agenda, and then what's the thought? How are the people thinking about Prime Minister's visit, and how excited are they?
So the Indian community extremely excited. The living bridge between India and Ukraine. Now this is the bridge that actually kept the relationship going through all the ups and downs. If we were to talk about the Prime Minister's agenda, he took that train journey from Poland to Ukraine. He's arrived in Ukraine. Geeta, both you and I have taken that train journey, and it's a very difficult one, at least for people like you and I, or the common person. But then again, the Prime Minister was on that train for over 8 hours. They've reached here. They've met the diaspora. We'll talk to them about their interaction. Now the Prime Minister heads to the statue of Mahatma Gandhi, father of the nation, and begins the official leg of this journey by paying respects to the father of the nation. His message of truth and non-violence, as important today as it always has been, and especially in this region. And then that all-important meeting with President Zelensky. But before we talk about that meeting with President Zelensky and what to expect, the diaspora is very excited. What was your meeting like with the Prime Minister here at the hotel?
Actually, I was very excited to see him. The aura which he had, I've never seen the aura of a person. And after seeing his aura, because when he entered, he was just smiling and shaking his hands. And when I saw him, I always think that the way he walked, the way he shined, he will always shine. And I'm proud that he is our Prime Minister.
Okay. Your expectations from the Prime Minister's visit? He took that 8-hour-long journey from Poland to Ukraine, and now he'll be meeting the President here. As an Indian in Ukraine who's been engaged in business here for quite some time, your expectations of this visit?
My name is Sarvesh Bhargam. I am here for 29 years. I am in pharmaceutical business. We are very, very excited that he is here, and we are hopeful that because of his stature, because of his in-depth knowledge, he will bring something concrete so that this war can end. We are very excited.
You're excited so that this war ends. आप भी प्रभु जी आइए हमको join कीजिए. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON members are here. They have a large number of followers here. We'll talk to them. But your expectations of the Prime Minister's visit?
Good morning, everybody. See, it's a very historic moment. We have seen our Prime Minister, Modi ji, and when we talked to him that yes, we need some kind of peace from our country, India, to have a diplomatic talk with India, with Ukraine and Russia. So let's see, he will be trying his best when he'll be meeting the President of Ukraine, Mr. Zelensky today.
Okay.
So we are waiting.
Okay. Prabhu ji, आपसे निवेदन है आप यहाँ आइए. So you carry the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and it's in Ukrainian.
Bhagavad Gita in Ukrainian language with original Sanskrit text, translation, and commentary. Yes, we distribute in Bhagavad Dharma here, and this is our role in bringing peace and prosperity into Ukraine.
So this truly is India's civilizational ethos. Shanti Doot Shri Krishna before the Mahabharata, but the Mahabharata still happened. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is here. The effort is to find peace, as many argue. Does India's civilizational ethos draw Ukrainians to our culture, to our history?
Oh yeah, India has the richest culture and religion in the world. That's why we choose it. We're original Ukrainians, but we chant Gayatri, we chant Hare Krishna mantra, and we got into this religion because this is eternal dharma.
How long have you been a part of ISKCON, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and how many disciples and devotees and members does ISKCON have in Ukraine, sir?
I joined in 1980, 44 years ago. And in Ukraine, we have up to 40,000 followers of ISKCON, of Sri Krishna.
40,000.
40,000, yes, before the war. Of course, now less because many people fled abroad, but still we have thousands and thousands people practicing Hare Krishna.
Okay. And, we have more members of the Indian community joining us. There's a youngster. Prabhuji, please stay with us. Come. Be careful of the camera. A school kid with a tricolor. So, tell me your name. Tell me more about this tricolor and your meeting with the Prime Minister.
My name is Tisha Sharma. I'm 11 years old and I'm in 6th grade. And I'm very happy. I'm very honored to meet the wonderful Prime Minister of India, Modi ji.
You saw him? You met him?
Yeah, I met him. I was really happy.
Really?
Yeah, I was filled with joy.
So, you're 11 years old. How long have you lived in Ukraine?
Actually, I was born and raised in Kharkiv.
In Kharkiv?
Yes.
My God, Kharkiv has seen a lot of conflict. Were you here during that conflict?
Yeah, I was here. I was really nervous and scared because of the bombs and the rockets. I was really nervous.
But your parents and you stayed through. Tell me, Geeta. I mean, just look. This is so
Absolutely.
amazing.
It is indeed. But do they speak Hindi? Do they know any of the mother tongue if they're not from North India and South India or anywhere else? Do they speak any of the Indian languages?
So let me put this to young Trisha. आप हिंदी बोलती हैं?
हाँ, मैं हिंदी बोलती हूँ. धन्यवाद.
अरे
Oh,
वाह! तो
wow.
आपके माता-पिता ने आपको हिंदी भी सिखाई.
हाँ, मैं 5 लैंग्वेजेस जानती हूँ.
आप 5 भाषाएं बोलती हैं. कौन-कौन सी भाषाएं बोलती हैं?
अंग्रेजी बोलती हूँ, रशियन बोलती हूँ, यूक्रेनियन बोलती हूँ, इंग्लिश बोलती हूँ, मैं फ्रेंच भी बोलती हूँ.
वाह, और हिंदी भी. तो आप तो 6 भाषाएं बोलती हैं. ये तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. अब आपका क्या नाम है?
आद्या.
आद्या, आप कितने कौन सी क्लास में पढ़ते हो बेटा?
7th.
आप 7th में पढ़ते हो. और यूक्रेन में कब से रह रहे हो?
Since I was born.
और आप भी आप दोनों बहनें हैं क्या?
नहीं. best friends है.
अच्छा, आप लोग बस फ्रेंड्स हैं. तो बस फ्रेंड्स ने कैसे उस शेलिंग को झेला था जब यहाँ, क्योंकि जब मैं खारकीव गया था करीब 2.5 साल पहले, तो वहाँ जबरदस्त शेलिंग हो रही थी.
हाँ, पर हम लोग सब कोई डिफरेंट कंट्रीज में थे, पर फिर से मिले हम लोग. हाँ, हम लोग एक्चुअली बेसमेंट में थे, क्योंकि वहाँ पर बहुत सारे अटैक्स हो रहे थे एंड बहुत हार्ड था, पर होपफुली सब कुछ वापस से ठीक हो जाएगा.
But Gaurav, what are their expectations from the Prime Minister? He's come there.
Let me bring some more people to join us in this conversation. Ma'am, आप लोग इस तरफ आइए कैमरे के पीछे से.
लेकिन Gaurav, before you go to the others, I would want you to go back to the kids and ask them if they know any of the Indian patriotic songs. Is there any message for Prime Minister Modi? What do they have to say? Anything on those lines.
Sure. So let me just widen this up so that you get an idea of the number of diaspora people who are here. So look at this.
Wow, this is brilliant. And they're all there despite the war, and in spite of the war, they've stayed on. Quite a few of the Indians, Gaurav, had actually left and then gone back when things became a little normal. The situation normalized a little, at least in Kyiv.
So, absolutely. And let me bring more people into this conversation. लेकिन वो जो हमारी एंकर है गीता, वो आपसे जानना चाहती हैं कि आपको कोई देशभक्ति का गाना भी आता है? आप भारत के कौन-कौन से गाने जानती हैं और गाती हैं?
I know that मैं नेशनल एंथम जानती हूँ.
Oh, very good.
और मैं बहुत सारे हाँ मैं डांस करती हूँ मैं इंडियन गाने से.
Oh, wonderful. What I'll make you do is आपसे हम नेशनल एंथम भी सुनेंगे और डांसेस भी सुनेंगे. और देखिए, भारतीय समुदाय के और लोग भी आते जा रहे हैं यहाँ पर, and I request all of you to join us on this special broadcast. ये हमारा तिरंगा. Medical students very excited. आप तो जिस दिन मैं आपसे मिला था, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी से मिलना चाहती थी, तो ये मुलाकात हो पाई है? हाँ, ये so that जी
बहुत अच्छा लगा, और ये हम सबके लिए एक हिस्टोरिक मोमेंट के जैसा है. हम आशा करते हैं कि इससे दोनों देशों के संबंध अच्छे बने और फ्यूचर में हम सबका विकास हो साथ में.
Right, Gaurav,
साथ में विकास हो. Yeah, go on, Geeta.
For the benefit of our viewers, if you could go back to maybe English so that the viewers from across the world also can understand exactly what they're saying, unless they can't speak the language, we're okay with
So,
that.
you know, people from across the world, what they can perhaps see and
The
appreciate.
spirit.
All these people here are that living bridge between India and Ukraine. These are the people who've stayed here during the conflict. These are the people who are taking this relationship between India and Ukraine forward. So the Prime Minister has come today with the External Affairs Minister, with the National Security Advisor, and that makes this meeting extremely, extremely important. But what makes this relationship very strong are these people. You know, when I was here two and a half years ago, when the war started, a lot of Indians contributed to that war effort in whatever way they could. Whether it was financial support, whether it was logistics support, or many people who were just cooking food packets for soldiers who were going out at the front. We reported on that story, and several Ukrainian soldiers I spoke to, several Ukrainian leaders I've spoken to. They said India is the only community that they completely rely on. But let me bring in some more guests and take this conversation forward.
Sure.
Kaisi, right? You know, how was your meeting with the Prime Minister?
बहुत अच्छी रही
बहुत अच्छी रही.
बहुत अच्छी रही बोल भी नहीं पा रहे क्या बोले हम तो उन्हें देखते ही रह गए बस देखते ही रह गए
तो अच्छा नहीं, लेकिन आप लोग सुबह सुबह यहाँ आए और उस समय ऐसा भी था कि हो सकता है उनके पास उतना समय ना हो पाए.
बिल्कुल बहुत बड़ा डाउट था कि हम मिल पाएंगे या नहीं मिल पाएंगे पर बहुत अच्छे से मिले हाथ भी मिलाया इंसान से मिले हैं वो
हाँ.
एक इंसान से मिले हैं
अच्छा.
हाथ मिलाया मैंने उनको बोला कि मोदी जी एक पिक्चर बोले मिलेगी आपको मेरी बेटी के सर पे हाथ भी रखा इसके सर पे उन्होंने हाथ रखा
अच्छा,
एक इंसान से मिले
आपने बहुत अच्छे संस्कार दिए बिटिया रानी को कि हिंदी भी बहुत अच्छी बोलती है, पेट्रियोटिक गाने
हमारे
भी
सारे
गाती है.
बच्चे सारे
हम
लैंग्वेज
लोग यूक्रेन में 33 साल से यहाँ पर हैं 33 years. Yeah.
I'm here for last 36 years. This
अरे
is my
वाह.
second motherland. I was into tears
हाँ.
जब ये वार हुआ. What happened? मतलब life is just upside down.
है ना.
तो बहुत
और
बहुत
ये-
ज्यादा अच्छा है.
ये अगर यूक्रेन के लोग कहते हैं कि आप लोग ह्यूमन ब्रिज है इंडिया और यूक्रेन के बीच, ये इस बात से आप सहमत हैं?
Yes, मैं सहमत हूँ.
बिल्कुल,
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
और आप कब से हैं यहाँ पर?
33 years. 91 से यहाँ पर.
90
I
हम
was
तो
here
साथ
since
में ही-
Soviet Union since 1980.
और हम एक ही फ्लाइट से आए थे
That time.
91 में तीनों आदमी. और
क्या?
हम खारकोव से ही हम लोग से है और मेडल मिला हुआ यूक्रेन की तरफ से. इतने सेवा की है इन्होंने
हाँ.
कि कहना मुश्किल है. सब नहीं है मेरे पास.
So this is what you see here. Let me once again, open this up for more friends to join us. Where are you?
Basically, I'm from Ahmedabad,
Okay.
Gujarat, from the state of Modi, and I'm living here since 15 years into textiles from India, Korea, and China.
Okay.
So we support India too much. We support Ukraine too much, and we have the hope that he's the only leader who can help us finish this war.
So is that possible? Is that what all of you are looking at? That this war coming to an end?
We have the hope. Let's hope for the best. That soon the war will be end.
Because when he entered to the premises and when he was walking around the public, and we was feeling a positive energy, which he having a charisma. You cannot describe how charismatic he is.
We were having a
So he is the only one. He is only one the guy who can end this.
Every Indian nationals, everybody wants to that this war should end as soon as possible.
Okay. I also now want to walk along for a moment. And there are some Ukrainians here with the Indian flag. I do not know if they speak either English or Hindi. Hi, can I talk to you for a moment? I see you with the Indian flag. Okay. Let me try and get some more people. We tried. A lot of Ukrainians here also speak Hindi and English.
Yes, sir. We came all the way from Vinnytsia. We are medical students here. We are very excited, and it's like a completely unexpected visit of Modi. And we believe that Modi is the only leader who can bring some peace to this illegal war.
But is the aim peace or is the aim reconstruction as medical students? Because the medical students are also facing a lot of problems here.
Exactly. What we want is peace. So if peace is there and everything will be sorted out well, and we hope everything goes well.
Right.
Fair enough. Thank you very much. So, Geeta, I've been able to get you a fair idea about what Indians in Ukraine feel, what Indians in Ukraine are very, very hopeful about, that there will finally be peace between between Russia and Ukraine, and their lives can start once again. And the life that's been severely impacted by this war that's been on for over 900 days, Geeta.
Well, that's true, Gaurav. Now we see the Indian community out there in their finest attire, who waited a long time to welcome Prime Minister Modi. But the fact of the matter is that there is a lot of serious work that needs to be done. I was speaking to a few people, a few analysts yesterday. Expectations when it comes to really...
Geeta, I'm so sorry. I seem to be having a little issue with the audio, and we'll try and set that up once again. As we walked around, I seem to have lost that audio link, but that is, incidentally, I must also add here, in the IT here is supposed to be absolutely outstanding, absolutely no issues throughout the war. Even in the most difficult areas, we had access to internet, and we were able to send back footage from that war. And that is what that is one of Ukraine's strongest points. They're saying that when it comes to disruptive technology, when it comes to cutting edge technology, and this, they're able to send across that message. Geeta, give me a moment as I once again try and get to some more Indians here in Ukraine and get an interaction with how they are reacting to this meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and how they hope for. They're very, very hopeful that there will be forward movement. There will be some peace between India and Ukraine. Geeta, over to you.
Right, Gaurav, a very, very significant moment out here where we're looking at Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Ukraine. But let's just discuss a bit of what can happen in terms of the conversations. Now, I was speaking to a few analysts, like I was saying earlier, and it doesn't seem like it does.
Well, did you guys have fun yesterday?
Well, I think Gaurav is already in conversation with others, but we're trying to figure out a way to connect with him again. And in the meanwhile, what we will try to do is just break it down for you in terms of the conversations that we've had with senior leaders, including the head of the President's office in Ukraine, Mr. Andriy Yermak, who spoke with us in an exclusive conversation about the expectations from this visit. And we will also talk about exactly when this entire visit was planned. First, listen in to Mr. Yermak.
Over than 900 days, we are living in the situation that every day, we several times per day, per night, listen the Syrians, and we in the non-stop attacking all our cities of Russian missiles, of Iranian drones. It's mean this is real war. It's the biggest war in the Europe after World War II. With all the same things, unfortunately, in our occupied territory, with the concentrated camp, everything which you know about the Nazis, about fascists, happened and continue happening in our lands. Because now Russia, it's terroristic country. But you know, we are living and we use all our opportunities to secure, and of course with the help of our partners, this our alliance, we are more strongest because they help us with the weapons, the air defense, plus we are very much increasing our own capability, our own productions, just in these terrible and very difficult times.
Well, that was the President's office. He's the head of the President's office in Ukraine. President Zelensky is a very important man, almost counterpart to National Security Advisor. When I asked him about when did this entire visit, when was it planned, when was it decided, and did it happen as a reaction to his visit to Moscow. He very clearly said that the invitation was extended during the G7 summit and not after. And when the conversations began, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had already told President Zelensky that he will visit Ukraine this year itself. So that's a significant statement, dehyphenating Russia and Ukraine when it comes to the visits. It's not a reaction, is what he meant to say. He also went ahead and said that Prime Minister Modi and President Zelensky's visit was being planned. Conversations would be taking place well in advance. And the final conversation, because we've seen meetings between the leadership as also between External Affairs Minister Jaishankar and his counterpart Kuleba. But it is the conversation, the telephonic conversation that Mr. Yermak himself had with National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, which is when the date was decided. So that's an exclusive conversation I've had. Log on to India Today Global YouTube channel, watch the entire interview. It is a very important one, spells out everything that has happened, and this is exclusive conversation and exclusive details on how the meeting and the visit of Prime Minister Modi was planned. But in that visit itself, there's a very important aspect. It's not just about him traveling and flying down to Poland. It's the train journey from Poland to Kyiv. That is a very significant one. A lot of security preparations. It's a country at war with another friend of India, so to say, Russia. And therefore, while there was a lot of understanding of, and everybody was quite aware of Prime Minister Modi's visit, but this train journey is important because many leaders before Prime Minister Modi took the very same train to reach Kyiv. What is the train journey all about? What is that train all about when it comes to security preparations? What are the rooms? The details of that train itself is important. So let's look at this report on Prime Minister Modi's train journey and the detailing of what it takes for such security preparations within a train that transports senior leadership, world leaders from Poland to Ukraine in a span of about 8.5 hours.
Visit to Poland and Ukraine is making headlines for a number of reasons. One of the most intriguing aspects of this visit is his journey aboard what the world has come to call the war train. But why is this train so significant, and what does it symbolize in the context of the ongoing conflict in Ukraine? Narendra Modi is the first Indian Prime Minister to visit Ukraine, and this trip is historic for two key reasons. First, Prime Minister Modi will be travelling from Poland's capital Warsaw to Ukraine's capital Kyiv aboard the train known as Rail Force One, which is a nod to the US President's iconic aircraft. This train operates between Poland and Kyiv, covering a distance of approximately 700 kilometers, which is a journey that takes about 10 hours each way. In total, Prime Minister Modi will spend 20 hours on this train during his 27-hour trip, with just 7 hours on the ground in Kyiv. When Russia launched its invasion, Ukraine's airspace was closed and road routes became perilous. The world assumed that no foreign leader would set foot in Ukraine until the conflict ended. But Ukraine turned this assumption on its head, transforming the very railway that once carried refugees to safety into a diplomatic lifeline. In March 2022, Poland's then Prime Minister became the first world leader to reach Kyiv via this rail route. He was followed by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Italy's Prime Minister and French President Emmanuel Macron in June. US President Joe Biden made the journey in February 2023, and earlier this year, former British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni also travelled to Kyiv aboard this train. India now joins the ranks of 51 other nations, with Prime Minister Modi becoming the 52nd leader to make the symbolic journey. This high-security train is equipped with various amenities, including conference rooms, a library, and secure communications facilities. The train's operation remains highly confidential, and it maintains a steady speed of about 60 to 65 kilometers per hour, even as it passes through war-torn regions. Ukraine's ability to keep these trains running on time, even amid conflict, is a testament to its resilience. These trains have become a powerful metaphor for Ukraine's determination to stay on track, both literally and in the realm of global politics. For Prime Minister Modi, this will be a unique journey, one into a nation at war where he will meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. This visit will not only strengthen India's diplomatic ties, but also highlight the enduring spirit of a nation fighting for its future.
Well, those were details about Rail Force One. Prime Minister Modi right now is in his hotel, and in some time from now, the big meeting between Prime Minister Modi and President Zelensky will be taking place. He was welcomed by the Indian community in Kyiv, but the bigger question over here is about what is it that India can really do in the conversations towards peace. Prime Minister Modi, time and again, in various international platforms, has reiterated that this is indeed not an era of war. He also spoke of it when he had met the President Putin in Moscow. But that reiteration, is that enough? What is it that can really bring about the two leaders to come to the negotiating table? We'll discuss all that and more and bring you continuous coverage of Prime Minister Modi's historic visit to Ukraine. For now, that's all on this show. Keep watching India Today Global.